Hey, how's everyone doing? Okay, let's see. What do we have for the market today? And what are the futures looking like for tomorrow? Let's keep an eye on that. Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great, awesome night. For those of you that are new to this channel, thank you for visiting. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Gerardo. I do swing trades, and I also invest in the long term. So, if you guys are here to analyze the market, to ask questions about, what the market is going to look like tomorrow, what happened today during the market. Uh, During the market opening of the day and closing of the day. That's what we're here to talk about. So um, let me know if you guys are investing or trying to get into investing to start to buy stocks. You haven't started. You might be thinking of starting. What's your plan? Okay, where are you guys at on that? I don't do this full time, so just so you guys know, I do it part time. I have my full time job as a teacher, and then in the mornings I do analyze the market. Before I leave, I do some trades if it's a good time for to start some trades. During the day, if I have time, I'll check the market, but I usually don't do trades during the day. And then I get out of positions whenever it makes sense to me or whenever my goals are hit. Oh, um, so that's just what I do. So I'm gonna take a wait a couple minutes just to get everyone else who typically joins my lives at night, and then we'll go ahead and get started with the news. So as of now, futures look pretty flat. They don't look like they're dropping too much. The whole day today was pretty flat. The markets didn't really move much. The SPY, I think it tried to get to that to those 600 during the day. I think it hit 597, 598. It almost wanted to hit 598. Same thing with the Qs, 529. I think that was the max, and stopped there. So Qs didn't really move much today. SPY didn't really move much. And as you guys know already, the the person who's moving the markets is Donald Trump. Okay, though he's the one that's moving the markets. Whatever he says, uh, whether it's good or bad, moves the markets up or down. Okay, it's not anymore the reports from companies. At least not for the past what is it, 3 months, 3 4 months. It's just been the administration with the news on tariffs, with the news on adding more tariffs on different countries, and not being happy with some companies. So that's pretty much what's been moving the stocks up and down, dropping them, stopping them from getting to all time highs. So unfortunately, that's the case, and we just got to do what the market does, right? Sometimes the market is not gonna make sense, and we just gotta follow the market. The trend is your friend. That's a popular expression in trading. The trend is your friend. So go with the market. Do what the market is telling you to do. Otherwise, if it doesn't make sense sometimes. So if you're looking to get into some trades, Joe Becerra, thank you for stopping by, man. Thank you for joining the channel. Nvidia, that is a good company. Good company. I mean, the only thing that's stopping Nvidia from getting to all-time highs is the news that I mentioned earlier. And even with those news, the bad news on tariffs, and adding more tariffs to some countries if they don't submit a deal by today. I think today was the deadline for a lot of those countries. That's the only thing that's pretty much stopping Nvidia from going to all-time highs. But I mean, it's looking good on the chart. It's got a nice hammer candle, so I wouldn't be surprised unless we have negative news tomorrow. But if we have nothing tomorrow, I think Nvidia is gonna try to trend into that resistance, which I already drew a couple days ago, because it hit that resistance, and it just bounced all the way to like 133. I think it stopped, and then it's validating that support, going back to 141, 142. So it needs to break that, go to 140. Let's see. The next stop for Nvidia is probably, let me move this one here. gonna be around 145. I want to say 144, 144, 145. That's the next stop for Nvidia. So if there are no news tomorrow, or at least not no bad news, I think Nvidia is gonna try to break this, maybe touch 144, reject that. If we do get some good news on tariffs, or we have a call on Friday. Don't forget that. For those of you that are waiting on good news, we have a call between Trump and President Xi from China on Friday. That's what they said. They said Friday the call is scheduled, and that is definitely going to move the markets, depending on what Trump says after the call. If he says everything went well, we're doing good, and we're going to continue working on the trade deals, then we might see the market take this as a positive thing. So keep an eye on that. We need good news for Nvidia to break that 142, 143, and then the next resistance, which is at 145. For my taste, Joe, it's too expensive for now. I was in Nvidia, and I sold at 137 before earnings because I didn't want to take the risk. And it's okay. Nvidia continued to go up, and there was a big chance that Nvidia was going to continue to move up, but I just didn't want to take the risk. I was already in the green because I had an average of about 110, $110. So I was already up, excuse me, about $25 per share. So I just got out of it. I will not enter into Nvidia again unless it traces back to maybe 120, 125. Maybe I'll start accumulating some shares there, and as it drops more, then I'll get some more. But I'm not gonna get into this for now, so I'm just gonna wait. What about top chips? It had some good gains today. What top chips? Joe, hasn't moved much since like a few years. Top chips. What stock is that, or what stocks are you talking about? JG. KSS. Let's see, KSS. Let's take a look at that. Why not? KSS. That's Kohl's. I already have a bad feeling about Kohl's. Let's see. So I always check the daily and the weekly candles, and I like to go 5 years in the history because I don't trade this stock. But if we look at 5 years in the history, look at where it was 5 years ago and where it is now. I mean, 5 years ago it was at 79. Let's see, in 2019 it was at 44. It kind of recovered a little bit, but it's in that downtrend. I mean, you can, let's see, we do this and draw this top line from top to bottom right there. Okay, you can clearly see that there is a downtrend. And even if I take, let's say, if I take this from more recent years, you're still in a downtrend. It's not moving up. It's not recovering any of those candles. It's not breaking any of those lower highs. So it keeps making let me mark it. Keeps making a lower high, a lower low, lower high. And when I say lower high, it means that this candle never went above that previous high candle. Does that make sense? So same thing here. The lower high, this candle is lower or below this candle here. And then the same trend continued. Lower high, lower low. You see, lower high, lower low, and that's where it's at right now. So if it continues this trend, you tell me, where do you think it's gonna go? Okay. So you analyze it, take a look at it. Where do you think it's gonna go? Okay, because that's what the chart is showing. Okay, the chart's online, right? So unless you know something that's gonna happen, maybe a partnership with a different company, maybe they're gonna sell something exclusively, and that's gonna help break out of that trend. But as of now, no good. JG. So that's what I think about Kohl's. Quantify, thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Put on Tesla put on Tesla tomorrow. Cooper, hey Cooper, what's going on, man? Put on Tesla. It could drop. It could drop. Tesla had bad news again. I've been telling you guys for the past week. For those of you that have been on my live for the past week, I've been saying Tesla. The only thing that's kind of holding Tesla at this level is the news, or are the news on the robotaxi, which comes out tomorrow on the 12th, which the 12th will be Thursday. So Thursday of next week. That's when they are scheduled to to release the robotaxi. Um, so when they release the robotaxi, if it's a great idea, if it delivers, if it looks promising, then that will probably push Tesla out of that range of 360 and maybe go to 400. But if there's something bad with that robotaxi and investors don't like it and it doesn't look promising, it doesn't look like the full self-driving, because that's a big thing. The full self-driving, that's what everyone wants to see if it actually works, right? If you can actually get into the car and the car can take you somewhere without you pretty much interacting with the car at all. Okay, that's what people want to see, because right now Tesla has self-driving, but then in parentheses you always will see that you have to be in the car, of course, and you have to have your hands on the steering wheel. And I mean, even though you've seen probably some videos where people are like sleeping and the car is just going by itself, that's not what the car is intended for, at least not until this point. There is full driving, but it's supervised. Okay, it has to be supervised. Then the new thing for Tesla that's coming out next Thursday is the full self-driving, so unsupervised self-driving, and that's what why everyone is expecting from Tesla, for next week. So I don't know, will they deliver? I hope so. If they don't deliver, and again, if investors see something that maybe it's not fully working, maybe it's gonna take longer to to get it to the actual full self-driving with unsupervised, then the stock is gonna drop. So Cooper, I mean, put on Tesla, it doesn't sound crazy, but again, Tesla is one of those stocks that is very volatile. And sometimes it rides on nothing. Sometimes there are bad news on Tesla. Like today, they released numbers of cars sold in different parts of the country and outside of the country. I'm sorry, in different countries, and they keep dropping. I mean, the cars are just not selling, and that's the reason why Tesla dropped a little bit today. I mean, you can see these candles, shooting star candle and spinning top candle. I mean, not looking great. So it's not a crazy idea to put on Tesla, but you gotta watch your trades. Always take care of your stop losses, because Tesla could have bad news and go up, or have good news and drop. I don't. Tesla is a very very difficult trade for all of you guys that are doing or buying puts or calls on Tesla. Watch it. Okay, watch it, because I mean, it doesn't make sense sometimes to trade Tesla. You got to be a really good expert to trade Tesla, because again, bad news, sometimes the stock goes up. Good news, sometimes the stock goes down. So you kind of have to be an expert on Tesla to trade it. Top Ships is a stock. Joe, give me the ticker symbol. We can look it up. Thoughts on MSFT? Is that MicroStrategy? Let's see. MSFT. Oh, that's actually Microsoft. Why did I wait? I actually have Microsoft not here though. Here. Microsoft is who asked me that. Ramon. Hey Ramon. Thank you for the comments on the video that I posted too. Yeah, I realized when you posted, I was like, wait, I didn't talk about this. So I appreciate your comment. I'm gonna take that for when I make my next video. Microsoft is one of the big companies. I mean, what can I tell you about Microsoft? Microsoft is great. At this point, I just think it's overbought. it's hitting that all-time highs, as you can see here. Let me get rid of this line. I was trying some different tools. I was testing those lines, but don't pay attention to those. So the all-time highs is at 468, and right now it's at 463. So it's very close to all-time highs. That's my issue number one. My best educated guess based on this is that it's gonna hit all-time highs, whenever that is, and then it's gonna reject it. Okay, and it's got a lot of room down because you can see all these green candles. It's done nothing but go up, 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 and I think it's gonna reject and probably try to fill in this gap somewhere around, 420, 430. So be careful with that. If you already have shares, why not take some profits unless you're holding it long term. Long term, I think the stock is just gonna continue to fly because Microsoft is just one of those big companies that will still be here, 10 years from now. Let's see, bro. Hood calls ended up playing. My calls are at 80% right now. Congratulations, Alan. Good job, man. Where is Hood at? Let's see. We looked at that. Did we look at that here, Alan? I can't remember. Yep. So you see, so I did. When we looked at it, I think it was barely at trying to break that resistance, right? So I said, if it breaks that resistance and it's right here right now, it's probably gonna try to retest it. Okay, pretty soon it's gonna pull back, retest that support, which now became support, and then if it confirms it, it's just gonna continue. Okay, it'll continue going up. I don't know why they're probably good news on this. Maybe add it to the. Oh, okay. So this is why, because there are rumors that Robinhood may be added to the S&P 500. So buy the rumor, sell the news, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news. So once they add this to the S&P 500, then it'll possibly revalidate that as support and then continue to go up. Okay. Keep an eye on that. It's still a rumor. Okay, it's nothing is confirmed yet, Alan. It's not confirmed. So it says may be added to the S&P 500. So, and usually when stocks are added to the S&P 500, okay, don't hold me up to that, but just consider this. There's always, for some reason, as soon as they get added to the S&P 500, they sell off a little bit, and they tend to break those supports. So keep an eye on that. Alan, I remember you asked me about Hood. Yeah, I remember you asked me about Hood, Alan. So that's why I had this line here. When I said this is resistance. If it breaks through it, it has to validate that resistance and then keep going, and that's gonna be the next move. And it's because of the rumors of this stock getting added to the S&P 500, which is a big deal. So we'll see if that confirms. Tesla. Diga, Tesla lost 7K past week. Oh man, I'm sorry. Did you do a put or a call, or did you just sell out? I mean, if you were here when I talked about Tesla, Tesla is one of those stocks that you need experience. You need experience to trade this stock because of the way it moves. This stock moves 25% in a week, sometimes in a couple weeks, and just like it moves 25% up, it could move 25% down. So most stocks don't do those kind of moves unless there are really bad news on the stock. Then it does, tend to drop. But Tesla, it's like I said, good news, it drops. Bad news, it goes up. So you got to be an expert to be able to trade Tesla. If you guys are trading Tesla and making money on Tesla, props to you. Right now, I'm out of Tesla. I wouldn't buy it unless it drops to like 220, 230, which is where it was like a month ago, I want to say, or a couple of weeks ago actually. So I wouldn't get into Tesla, but it's a very difficult trade, very uncomfortable too. I did puts on Tesla today. Arsas, like I somebody else said earlier that they were also doing puts on Tesla. Like I said, it's not a crazy idea. It's not a crazy idea. And I've been talking about Tesla for a couple of weeks now. If you guys have been in my lives, I've been saying it. Tesla is just riding on the idea of the robotaxi delivering next week. If Tesla doesn't do well on the robotaxi, everything else is shit. Everything else. Their car sales are horrible. their earnings were not great. Okay, everything else is bad on Tesla right now. I'm not saying it's a bad company. I think it's a great company. I think Tesla has a lot of stuff under a lot of aces under their sleeve, but they take way too long to deliver. I mean, they got the Optimus robot. I mean, they showed it. They showed it at one of their presentations, but they haven't said when people are gonna be able to buy one, when that's gonna release. And Tesla tends to have delays on everything. So, and that's something that investors don't really like. Whenever they announce delays, the stock drops. I wouldn't be surprised if next week on Thursday, their full self driving doesn't deliver, and that kills the stock. So that's why probably a lot of you guys are thinking on doing puts on Tesla. BYD are taking some of their European Union market. Yeah, I mean, we have BYD. BYD is a Chinese company, and as far as I know, their cars are way more affordable than Teslas. I don't know their build quality. They don't sell in the U.S. because they're not allowed. But but I know that for a fact that they are cheaper. Okay, they are cheaper cars. So so they take a big chunk of the market in Europe. I have put since last week. I'm up 1K today. Jamil puts on Tesla. Good job. Congrats. I hope they pay off. Expiration July 18th. Okay. I don't really do puts, but yesterday and today I have to. On Tesla, right? Arces. Okay. Well, I hope it works out for you, man. I like I said, I'm not dealing with Tesla right now because it's moving like crazy. It's already a very expensive stock in terms of price to earnings ratio. I I, I like to play more conservative, and take care of my money. So for now, Tesla just doesn't make sense for me to buy. At least not risk my money. Unless it drops to like 200, then I could start getting 220, 225, which is where it was on on April 7th. So during the tariffs, when they announced the tariffs, that's when it dropped to 220, 225. Maybe I could get some shares there. But again, unless it drops there, otherwise I'm not gonna do that. Let's see. I don't really. Okay. Look at car also. Jamil, they're good for puts. Car. What's car? Is that Carvana? Car. Oh no no. Avis Budget Group. Avis Budget Group. I don't even know what this does. Finance, refinance, rental, leasing, a rental leasing company. Um, for puts, you said. I mean, this stock like skyrocketed to like $500, and then now it's at 112. I wonder what made that happen. But I mean, already this stock is already trending under the 200 SMA, so it could go lower, right? But I don't know if you're doing puts on this one. Let's see, tops. Joe Becerra, tops. What's tops? Tops. Tops. Okay, so that's the one you were talking about earlier, right? Tops. Joe, this is a bad stock, man. I can already tell. I mean, look at the look at the chart. This is nuts. This stock probably did a split. Yeah, it probably did a stock split reversal, or a reversal split. That's why it was at 1600 and it just dropped to like $7. So I don't know what you see in this, man. I don't see anything. I don't see any potential. I mean, it hasn't done anything but go down, and right now it's at $7.87. So, bad. For those of you guys that are new to stocks and you guys uh, don't know what stocks to pick whenever you're buying these kind of stocks, like tops, they are pump and dump stocks. Okay, they are stocks that could have a move up, but it could also have a very aggressive move down. And for those of you that make money with these stuff, I mean, unless you've been, unless you do scalping, okay? If you do scalping, then okay, it might work, okay? But scalping is very dangerous. It's only for expert traders. If you're a beginner and you're trying to do scalping, you're gonna lose money, 100% guaranteed. You might make some money, okay? But that doesn't mean you're gonna continue to make money every time you scalp. So be careful with that. Be careful with that. Joe, was it Joe? Joe, I don't know how much experience you have, man, on stocks. If you are an expert and you've been doing this for a long time, then okay, then maybe it works for you. But for the regular person or the beginner, this is not a good stock to start with. Uh, any stock that has this kind of move, especially if it's in a downtrend and it has aggressive moves like here, how it has this jump from $5 to 17 in like 4 days. Those stocks tend to drop as fast as they go up, and you can see it here. I mean, it was at $5 when it jumped, and now it was at $5 yesterday. Let's see, we're looking at the weekly. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, yeah. So, Joe, yeah, it doesn't matter if it goes to 11 or $12. These kind of stocks, they do that for that purpose, because they want to short. Somebody's gonna short this stock pretty soon, and it's gonna have the same drop that you see. Why do I keep drawing these lines? The same drop that you saw. Get rid of this. That you saw here, when it skyrocketed to $18. I mean, you see that trend. Little by little, people were just running away from that stock because this stock has no fundamentals. I'm pretty sure it's got bad earnings. I mean, you can see that in the red. So there's nothing that makes this stock go up or that will make this stock go up. So even if it pumped, if you bought it at $5 or less, and then you're making money now, if it was me, I would take my profits and try to put them wherever, in a better stock. Okay, in a stock that I know it's gonna make me money consistently. Because these kind of stocks, um, they make you think that you're always gonna be able to make a lot of money, and it becomes an addiction. You're looking at these kind of stocks and you're like, okay, I'm gonna make money, a couple thousand every time I get a stock like this, and sooner or later you're gonna hit a stock that's gonna take some of those gains from you, and it's never gonna recover. Mark my words, man. I've done it. I've been there. Believe me, I've seen people who have done it, and it doesn't end well. Like I said, unless you're scalping and you bought it here and then now it's here and you sold it, good for you. Great job. But if you're holding this, hoping that it goes back to wherever it was a few months ago or years ago, that's probably a bad idea. So be careful on that one. Cooper, thank you for the roses, man. Sorry, read it late, but appreciate it. Thank you very much. And for those of you guys are here new to the channel, my name is Gerardo. I do swing trades. I also do invest for the long term, and I do this as a side job. So I've been in the market for about 5 years. My first couple years, not very profitable, losing a lot of money trading stocks like this, where I thought I could get rich in a year, and it unfortunately didn't happen that way. But the past 3 years, I've been doing it the right way, the safe way. Maybe not making as much money as scalpers, but I make a couple thousand every month. This past month, I was able to make about 20K because I was buying the dip when the market tanked because of the tariffs, and I just started buying little by little. I made that money just trading Nvidia, and trading good stocks that I know sooner or later are gonna recover, because those stocks are not pump and dump. Those stocks have a lot of fundamentals. They make a lot of money. They have good earnings. They have good EPS. So those are the ones that I choose to make me money. Okay, stocks like this, I can put my money in here. I don't know if it's gonna keep going up, and I don't know if it's gonna drop. So very, very risky trades. Millie Hims, let's take a look at that. Hola, Millie. Thank you for being here today. Hope you're having a great a great Wednesday. I was trying to think, what day is it today? But it is Wednesday. So let's take a look at hymns. Okay, hymns. Chart looks good. So see, so stocks like this that are moving up, they're not a bad choice. Okay, once you see the trend and you look at the trend is good. Okay, now let's go to step number 2. So step number 1, let's look at the trend. If it's in an uptrend, perfect. Now let's look at step 2, which is support and resistances. So let's look at the support and resistance for hymns. So on the dailies, you can see Millie here, it has a resistance, a max of 72. I don't know if that is that an all-time high. It probably is an all-time high. Yeah, so it's an all-time high at $72. And then for the past few days, you can see some resistance right there. It's been trying to break it though. Okay, some resistance at around 64, and it clearly rejected that. Last time it reported earnings were good. Okay, so good EPS, good good revenue. My best educated guess, I didn't hear the reports on this, but what I'm thinking is that the stock hit that resistance because of tariffs. Okay, because tariffs typically affect a lot of these stocks. Okay, medical and nursing services, health services, and that's my or the guidance. Maybe the guidance that they gave, it wasn't the greatest because they are not sure what's gonna happen with tariffs. Are things gonna get more expensive? Are they gonna get more cuts from the administration? I think that's one of the things that that they have on the beautiful bill. If you guys have heard about that from Trump, he's wanting to get this bill approved, which is gonna have a lot of cuts to Medicare. So maybe that's the thing that's affecting this stock. I don't know. I don't study this stock, but that's the reason why it's not able to break that resistance. And you need to have good news. Okay, catalyst news, good news that will pump this stock, make this stock break that resistance, and then turn it into support. So I don't know if you're into this, Millie. If you already bought it or you're thinking of buying it, you need good news. You need good news on this stock, especially the health sector, to know that it's going to be able to break that, because it's already at all-time highs, and it's very far away from the 50 and the 200 SMA. So careful on that one. Bought Tesla 268. Ramon, good job, man. 268. It's a big support for Tesla. So if it does drop from for next week on the news on the robotaxi, it probably will hit somewhere around 268 before it keeps dropping, if it does. But that's a great stop at 268. Been holding 3 months since the bottom. What? Diga, what are you holding? Yeah, I've been here while you've been talking about it. Okay, so you've been holding, what was it, Tesla? I can't remember what stock you were holding. What do you think about CRCL IPO tomorrow? So they have a new IPO, so it's probably not going to be in the market yet. So here's my thing, with IPO, and this is for everyone who is here who's new to the stock market. IPOs, do you guys know what IPOs stand for? Add it here in the comments if you guys know what that stands for. IPO, when a company has a new IPO. If you don't know, you're gonna learn that today. So if you know it, comment it, put it in the comments. What is an IPO, an initial IPO? Well, I already gave you the first word, initial. No, nobody knows. IPO, a new IPO. When a company has a new IPO, there you go. Jorge, initial public offering or offer, right? Initial public offer. So what does that mean? That means that for the first time, this company is going to go public. Okay, so that means that you and I are going to be able to buy that company, not just insiders. So the people that work for this company, they usually buy it or buy the stock. But once it becomes a public company, then you and I can buy some shares. Now, here's a problem with those type of companies. You're the one that asked me about the IPO. Binaya, yep, initial public offer, Jorge. Yep. So you guys got it. You guys know what that means. So the problem with IPOs, with brand new IPOs, is that you don't know what the price is. Okay, you don't know what the fair price for that stock is. So check it out. When they release that new IPO, you said it's tomorrow for CRCL. When it comes out tomorrow, it's gonna probably skyrocket, and it's gonna come down as fast, and it's probably gonna keep going up, and it might continue to go up. Okay, the reason why it moves that aggressive is because nobody knows what the fair price is for that stock. So it will continue to go up, and eventually, once it hits a top, people are gonna they're gonna start taking profits once it's at the top, and then it's gonna come down. Eventually, it will find a fair price, and it'll trend there for a little while. Okay. Let me give you one quick example. And I give this example, I forgot if it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. Do you guys remember Rivian? Do you guys know what Rivian is? Rivian? Comment here if you guys know. What is Rivian? What company is Rivian? What does it do? And I have it right here. I forgot the ticker symbol. There you go. Yeah, EV cars. Yep. Yeah, homie, JP. Yep. That's electric cars, right? So this company had an IPO back in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, weekly, and you'll see why I'm talking about an IPO, because this is just a lesson for everyone. Maybe you guys already know about this. Seems like you guys, the ones that are commenting, you guys probably know about IPOs and all that stuff. So check it out. This is when the new IPO for Rivian came out. Okay, it came out at $100. Okay, it was $100 when it came out, and then it skyrocketed to 178. Okay, I'm looking at the weekly chart, so every candle is a week. For 2 weeks, it traded at 178, 179, somewhere around that range. Then after that, it started to drop, because it was trying to find the fair price. It dropped one day, it went up, one day went green, it kept dropping, it went green, and you can see the trajectory here. So it just kept going down, right, trying to find that price, the price. Finally, it was able to find that price. Okay, make this bigger. It found that price at around $12. Okay, so from all the way at 178 in 2021, finally back in 2023, so 2 years later, it found its fair price at around $14, and that's more or less where it is right now. I mean, you can see it right now. It's at $14.01. Okay, so let's see. So if you buy a company when they release their IPO, you are going to be playing with the fair value, because you don't know where it's going to be. Okay, there are no earnings for that company yet. You don't know if that company is going to be able to sustain all of the value of the stock. So you're kind of playing the lottery, hoping that it goes up, hoping that your money doubles or triples. Okay, but then you might get that pull down, and then find the fair value, and you never get your money back. People who bought this stock at 170 or 180 4 years ago, they might still be in it, hoping that Rivian goes back up. Is it gonna go? I don't know. It's a huge difference. It's a huge drop. In my opinion, I don't think it's ever gonna go there. I think first they're gonna go bankrupt before they go to 180 again. Rivian is competing with a lot of companies like Tesla. And right now, the only reason why Rivian is still alive is because they received money from Volkswagen. Volkswagen injected money into Rivian. That's the only reason why they're alive. So careful on that one. I hope you guys, if you guys are new to this live or new to the stock market, I hope that helps. Whenever you have a new IPO, very tricky, very dangerous. You're playing the lottery pretty much. And in stocks you shouldn't, because most stocks that are good stocks, you're not playing the lottery, you're investing. Okay, you're investing, and that's the whole point of buying stocks, to invest and make money, not lose money. Bought Tesla 268. Okay, so got that, Ramon. Bangs, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Bought it for pennies. Okay, so you bought it for pennies. Look at the max. Okay, so Joe, so you are in the you're in profits. So good job, man. I hope you're able to cash out, and hopefully that doesn't pull back and take all of those profits. So think about that. What I said. Do you trade crypto? 619? No, no crypto. Crypto is very volatile. I just don't study crypto, so I like to put my money where I know it's gonna be safe. User 59, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. Buy ABT, ETH, ETH. I don't know about that. I don't know about that stock. Is that Ethereum? I think it's Ethereum. See, let me check it out just to ETH. Is that the one? Let me know if that's the one. Buy ABT, ETH, Ethereum. I'm not sure if that's the one, but I don't trade those kind of stocks. I don't trade any crypto, just so you guys know. Sorry, I can look at the technicals and everything else, but I don't trade crypto. Tlacochona, thank you for the lightning. Thank you for the lightning bolt. Appreciate it. 100 Mechanics, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. For all of you guys here that are new to the channel, again, my name is Gerardo. I do swing trades. I do also invest in the long term, and I've been in the markets for about 5 years now. So 2 bad years. My first 2 years were pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie, but for the past 3 years I've been profitable. So I'm just here to talk about the market, talk about what are good stocks, especially if you're starting and you want to make consistent profits. Bad stocks, I'm trying to keep people away from bad stocks. Okay, I don't want people to go through what I went through when I first started, and that's the whole point of being here. Just trying to give you a little advice. Again, it's just my opinion. At the end of the day, if you want to try it, like the ones that asked me about, what was that stock? Tops, like the stock Tops. If you want to give it a try, because a lot of people like to do that, and I did that, so I totally understand. You want to know what it feels like. You want to know if it's true, whatever other people say, that these are pump and dump stocks. You want to test it for yourself, and if you want to feel that pain, by all means, like I said, it's just my opinion, it's just what I think. But if you guys want to go through that, try it, and hopefully you understand it once you go through it, and you go through that anxiety of buying a stock that you don't know if it's gonna drop or if it's gonna keep going up. Because sometimes you go to bed, okay, you go to bed thinking, man, I wonder if my stock is doing good. And if you find yourself checking your phone every couple hours to see if the stock is going up or going down, then you made a bad investment. Because people who are sure about their stocks, they're not checking their phone every hour or every couple hours. Okay, they just check it when it makes sense. Maybe once a day they check the market, and they are calm. They go to bed and they're not thinking about it, because they know they did their research. They know it's a good company. They know the company is gonna go up no matter what. Okay, even if we're in bad times, eventually the company will recover. And they know their money is secure in that stock. When you buy stocks like this, you don't know that, and that's what makes you sometimes very anxious. So that's all I'm trying to communicate here and share with you guys. Lara, what do you think about Humana? What's the ticker symbol? We can look at that. Initial. Okay, so we got that, and then Tay Sanders. How much? How much? What, man? EV company, electric car. Yep. So we got that. Jesse, thank you for the follow, man. So what means put options will be good for IPOs? Biana. I mean, it possibly, if again, when a new IPO is released, it doesn't mean necessarily that it's gonna drop. Okay, I showed you the stock on the Rivian stock, because that's what happened to it. It found a fair price, and then it stayed there, at $14. But that doesn't mean all the time that the IPO, because sometimes some IPOs don't come out at $100. The one on Rivian did, because a lot of people are very excited about EVs and new cars, and this is gonna be different. This is gonna compete with Tesla and blah blah blah. There are some stocks that come out at $10. Initial public offering. Some of them are at $5. So from there, I mean, if you short it and it goes up, you're gonna be stuck there. So you got to do your research on that. And again, it's IPOs are lottery. No matter if you're if you're doing calls or puts, they are still a lottery, because if they come out at $5, they could go up and never come back to that price. So be careful on that. Let's see. Hello, sir. How are you? MB. I'm doing pretty good, man. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Just looking at the market, see what's gonna happen tomorrow. What happened today? Today we didn't really have much in the markets, other than, let me share that with you. Today we had just bad news. Well, bad and good news, depending on how you see it. So just sharing these news with you guys. For those of you that are watching the market, all of the news that I share are news that affect the stocks. Okay. So today in the morning we had the report of the ADP payroll. Okay, which means how many jobs in the private sector were added to the economy in the United States, and it came out way lower than it was supposed to, than it was expected. It came out at 37,000 jobs. So that's how many jobs in the private sector were added into the United States. But we were expecting 110,000. You can see it right there. 110,000. Now, this is good and bad. Okay? It's bad for the economy. Why? Because people are not getting new jobs, or they're not finding new jobs. Okay? If they're not finding new jobs, that means they're not buying homes. Okay? Because people don't have jobs. They are not buying cars. They are not buying more stuff on the market because they don't have jobs. Okay? So that's bad for the economy. That cools down the economy. So not a lot of people are buying. And if the economy cools down, then that means we don't have as much inflation, which is the good news. Okay, we don't have inflation. Now, if we don't have inflation, the Federal Reserve, which are the guys that decide whether the interest rates go up or down, those are the ones that look at that data and say, well, they only added 37,000 jobs, down from 110,000 that were expected. Well, maybe we should cut rates. Okay, maybe we should cut rates, because that way companies like Apple, like Kohl's or Walmart or Target, if we cut rates, maybe those companies can hire more people, because now they can borrow money at a lower interest rate. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's why I say it's good and bad news. Okay, bad news for the economy, but good news for rate cuts and for companies, so that they can borrow money once they cut rates. So that's what the Federal Reserve looks at, and they're supposed to come out in 2 weeks, okay, to announce whether or not they're going to cut rates. Most analysts are already pricing no cut rates this month until next month. But if we do get a surprise in 2 weeks and they come out and say, hey, guess what? Rate cuts, the stock markets are going to rally, okay? Because they love rate cuts. Again, for the reason that I explained. Companies can hire more people. They can borrow money so that they can expand their business. So good for economy. Good for the market, bad for the economy. So that's what we had today. Tay Sanders, what platform do I use? This is called TradingView. Right there. This is called TradingView. There are other platforms like Thinkorswim, and I think the other one is TC2000. But I love TradingView. It's nice. I might change or switch it to Thinkorswim at one point, because with Thinkorswim you can trade from the platform. With TradingView you can't. You have to link it with some other brokers that I don't have, so that'll be a little different. Hello. Okay, so which platform do you use? Yeah, so it's this is TradingView. User 37, thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate it, man. Tay Sanders, Thank you, man. Thank you for the follow. I hope I earned your follow and you enjoy my lives. How do you find IPO, Millie? Um, I don't know if there's a tool. Actually, that's a good question. For those of you that know IPOs, I don't know if there's a tool to find IPOs. I mean, there may be. If you Google it and say, how do you know new IPOs? The only way I find about IPOs is if I follow that company already. For example, when I opened my first broker or brokerage account on Robinhood. You guys know Robinhood, the one with the little feather. It's all over marketing. Um, when I first opened that account, it was not it was not on the market yet. And I remember I was using that broker, so I knew they were gonna have an IPO because I was following that company. But other than that, I never actually thought about it because I don't really trade I new IPOs. I just find out whenever they are on the market. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can Google it and find it. Newmax, Nmax did the same thing. Homie, you mean like the new IPO and it went up and then all the way down? We can check it out. Let's see. I'm curious now. And Max, Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, thank you for that example, homie. Uh, and this adds to what I said earlier, right? New IPO, you see it right there at $20. Then it goes to 200. Damn, this one went crazy. This one went to $260. Okay, in the initial IPO in 1 week. So let's look at the daily. So yeah, so look at that. New IPO, then drop, and then it's trying to find its fair price, which it did at around 18 bucks. Okay, so imagine if you bought here or maybe here at 120. You say, well, this stock is skyrocketing, and this is the thing with us traders, especially emotional traders, because we all get emotional. We all want to get rich in one day. I've been there. Okay, I want to get rich in a week, and I've made a couple $1,000s in a day in less than an hour. Okay, when I first started. And that's what got me addicted to doing stuff like this, because I made $2,000 in less than an hour, and I said, man, imagine if I made $2,000 in an hour. If I can repeat that every week and just do it for an hour, $2,000, that's pretty good money. And I was in that mentality, in that mindset, that I could make money that quick every time. Uh, and that's what a lot of people do it. They prefer to take a lot of money at once in very little time, rather than take or make money consistently every week, okay, in a safe way. And I've been there. Imagine if you bought here and it went all the way to 262. Most of us wouldn't have sold at 262. Why? Because we probably, when it was at this point, we probably would have thought, oh, let me wait to go to 300 and I'm gonna get out. Let me wait. And then it starts going down the next day to 171, and you're like, oh, let me wait, maybe it goes back to 200, then I'll sell at 200. And then it keeps going down to below your price, your average, which if it was at 120, now you're losing money at 55, and you're like, oh, maybe it'll go back to 100. If it goes to 100, I'll take my losses. $20 per share, it'll be fine. I'll take my loss. And then from there it just goes to $20, and then you're like way down in the water. So that's how we think. Why? Because I've been there. And not just me, I know a lot of people who've done this several times when they first started, and they tell you the same story. Okay, that's why they write books. Okay, a lot of the books that I read, they talk about the same thing. When I first started, I did this. Stocks that had no fundamentals, stocks that just go up, and then you think they're going to keep going up, and then from there they just drop. Okay, and you feel like the market is against you. You feel like the market is just something that is not for you. Why? Because you enter into stuff like this, and before you know it, it just drops, and you think it's just bad luck. But it's not bad luck. It's because you didn't study this stock. It's because you entered into this stock with emotions and not with this. And that's why you end up with losses, and you end up leaving the stock market. Okay, think about it. More than 95% who enter into the stock market they leave. Okay, they leave. So out of 100, 95% are not profitable, and they just leave because of the same reason. Because stuff like this happens, they lose money, and they're like, I'm out of here. So I hope that little talk helps a little bit. Let's see. Binaya, thank you for following. For the follow, appreciate it. C's, again, thank you for the follow, guys. I hope I can entertain a little bit of your time, and you guys can learn maybe one thing from all the stuff that I share. Mister Trade, thank you. If you like my comments or what I said, thank you. I appreciate it. Lara, HUM. What is HUM? Let's take a look at that. Oh, that's Humana. Okay, that's the one you asked for. Why not? Let's take a look at Humana. All right. This is also health services. Not looking very good. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, right? When I plan to enter into a stock or there's a stock that's been trending and everyone's talking about it, I look at a couple things first. I look at, is it in an uptrend? Is it in a downtrend? What is this stock doing, or what has it been doing for the past year at least? And I can see clearly that this stock since November of 2023, and actually before that, I mean, if we go, this one is it's a lower high already, but I'm not gonna go that far back. I'm just gonna go to 2023. In 2023, this stock was at $528. It just from there it just kept making a bunch of lower highs. So if we mark it here, see a lower high right there, and then a lower low right here, and then a lower high. Okay, and I explained it at first. The lower lows and lower highs just means that they don't go above the previous high. So the previous high was here. Okay, and I mean clearly you can see that this one did not go past that other lower high. Same thing with this one. This lower high did not go past this one, and this one did not go past that lower high. Where do you think the next one is gonna go? Okay, if it keeps dropping, the next one is probably gonna hit somewhere around here, not go above this one, unless you get good news on this stock for it explodes because of something good and it moves out of this trend. So if you have good news on this stock and then suddenly you have a candle that breaks here and then maybe hits this support here and then it goes here and then it keeps going like this, now you're breaking out of the trend and you start to create higher low. Okay, I'm sorry, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then higher low. Now you have a change or switch in trend. But until you get that confirmation, because you don't have that yet, then this is a bad idea. Okay, unless you're shorting the stock, which is also dangerous. But if you're shorting it, okay, maybe that makes a little sense. But if you're trying to get it so that it goes up, you don't know how far down this is gonna go. Buenas noches, Flaco. Thank you for the follow, Flaco. Let's say we'll check that. Binaya, can you please check CRWD? I think I looked at that one yesterday. That is, I thought at first it was CrowdStrike, but it's not CrowdStrike. CRWD, right? CRWD. Yeah, this is the one. Or it is CrowdStrike. I mixed it with this one, which is CoreWeave. So CrowdStrike. Yeah. Okay. So CrowdStrike, I think it had good earnings, didn't it? It released earnings. See, surprise. Okay, so it lost on earnings, but not big of a deal because it only lost 1.21 million dollars, but it reported 1.1 billion and it was estimated at 1.1. So I mean the loss is not huge. So I wouldn't really think much of that, other than, let's see, it reported earnings, it went up, it had a spinning top, Hmm. I mean, it broke resistance at 449. You can see it here. It broke that resistance, and now that became support because all resistances become support. It hit that support, and as of now, it hasn't broken that support. So see that it hit support, it went back up. So it is respecting and and honoring that support. We'll see how it reacts tomorrow. If you're planning to enter into this, you need to get like a big bullish candle so that you know that the trend is going to continue up and not down. At this point, I think this is at all time highs. So when stocks are at all time highs, you don't know where they're going to go. They might reject and just keep going down. This is going to depend on how the rest of the stocks are doing. If the rest of the stocks do well, then they probably will pull this stock along with them and keep going up. So keep an eye on that, man. If you're trying to enter this for the first time, you're already buying at a very high price. Okay, you buy at all time highs. The only way from there is down. Okay, because it's gonna go down, test some of the resistances, and then go back up, and then resistance and go back up, or support and go back up. So you're already buying at a very expensive price. Uh, Microsoft, Flaco, yeah, Microsoft. So you talked about Microsoft. Microsoft, I talked about it earlier too. I said Microsoft is a good stock. It's a great stock, but it is at all time highs. I mean, it's close to all time highs at 468. That's the all time high, and it's getting there. It's getting there. Same thing. You're already buying it very far away from the moving averages, which is already dangerous, and you're buying it close to all time highs if you plan to buy it. So for me, I would wait for a pullback because all the stocks are gonna pull back. Just gotta be patient. You just gotta be patient, but it will pull back. I guarantee you that 100%. It will pull back. It will not go in a straight line. You see those, all of those green candles? Those are great, but that's not how regular stocks work. Especially for this big jump here and that big gap. All of the gaps fill. Eventually, all of them will get filled. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Something will come out, bad news, or Microsoft is, doing something bad, or they're getting a lawsuit or whatever. When those news come out, it will drop and it will fill this space here. Okay, call me out on it when that happens and tell me. Okay, uh, and I will remind everyone, and I will tell everyone. Remember when I talked about this stock and I said this gap is gonna fill, and if it does, and if it gets here, I'm gonna buy some for the long term because I did. I bought some here at, I think it was at 490, and I sold at 450. So I got like a $60 per share profit. So, and I sold, I think, last week before it went to 463. I didn't know it was gonna go there, of course, obviously, but I knew it was getting close to that all-time high, so I just sold out of it. See, do you trade on TradingView? Thomas, no. TradingView is just a platform to analyze charts, but you cannot trade in it or using this platform. You gotta have your own broker on the side. Can you do BP? Binaya, BP. Let's see, BP. Okay, BP. See daily. See, it's got some resistance. What does this do though? This is energy minerals. Okay, so minerals resistance at 40. It clearly rejected that 3 times, so you have like a triple top, and then going down from there. So the only thing I can tell, I don't know what this stock exactly does, Binaya. The thing that I can tell you is that it's trending below the 200, and below the 200 is usually a bearish signal. You will notice that this stock, it had a big drop here, and it had bad earnings as well. So reported less on EPS. So I don't know what those news were that made the stock drop from 33 to $25. You might want to check that. Why it dropped that much, but it's trending below the 200, anything that's trending below the 200, you got to be careful. Okay, you got to be careful. Once it breaks above it, then okay, maybe it'll start breaking the downtrend that's been holding since April. Okay, so it's in a downtrend right now, and it's trending below the 200. So be careful on that one. Homie, thank you for the follow, man. I also earned your follow, so I appreciate it. John, thank you for the follow as well. Can you please break down S&P 500 chart and it's overextended and it's so when it will... Okay, Binaya, S&P 500. You're asking me about a great stock. I love this stock for the long term. So S&P 500, for those of you that guys that don't know, S&P 500 is the or SPY. It is the most powerful 500 companies in the United States. When one company doesn't do well, they take it out, they put the next one in. Like Robinhood. I think one of you was asking me about Robinhood earlier, and there are rumors that that company is going to be added to the S&P 500. So that's what happens. The least profitable company gets a boot, and then the next profitable company joins the 500. So in my opinion, okay, again, personal opinion, not financial advice, this stock wants to hit all-time highs, which is at around 610. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 600, 65, maybe close to 610. I don't know if it's gonna get all the way there. Depends on the news that we get on tariffs, and then somewhere around that area, it will drop. It will drop, and I'll tell you why. Again, not financial advice, personal opinion. I think the SPY is gonna drop because of the aggressive move that it had recently. The move from $480 back in April to $590. I mean, for the SPY, if you guys know about this stock, when it's in a bear market, it does go, about 20%, 25%. That's normal. It happens, every few years we have a bear market. But what never happens, and what has never happened in the past, is that the stock recovers that 25% in a matter of a month and a half. That's never happened before in history. So because you had such an aggressive jump to all-time highs, in my opinion, I think it's gonna hit all-time highs because it wants to hit all-time highs. For so many days, you can see the candles. For so many days, it's been hitting 596, goes back to 570, 594, goes back to 598. So little by little, it wants to break out of that resistance to 600 and then to 610. But once it gets there, I believe it's gonna fall. Okay, I believe it's gonna drop, maybe to back 570, maybe back to 560. Okay, only time will tell, but yeah, well, that's what I believe. Okay, let me look at a couple more comments, and I'm gonna try to keep up. Homie, yes. So, yep. Homie, John for the follow. Don't try to catch a falling knife. There's better buy opportunities out there. Thomas, you couldn't have put that better. Falling knife. If you guys are not familiar with that term, it's a very popular term in the stock market when a knife is falling with the point pointing down, and you want to catch it like this. What's it gonna do? It's gonna pierce through your hand, or through the palm of your hand. So that's exactly what dropping stocks do to you. If you try to catch it like that and think that's the bottom, that's a bad idea. Okay, maybe that's not the bottom. Maybe it's gonna keep going down. So thank you, Thomas, for that. Witter, ADBE. Let's take a look at that quickly. Adobe, $413 currently, and in a downtrend currently under the 200. To me, that looks bearish. It keeps going down. No signal that this is breaking out yet. So it kind of wanted to back in August, but it keeps going down. So careful on that one. I don't know if you're planning to enter. It doesn't look good. Any stock that is trending below the 200 SMA, you got to watch it. Okay. Once it, like here, just to give you the quick example, when it breaks above the 200, you see how that acts as support, and then it keeps going up, going up, going up. And once it breaks below it, it just keeps moving down, breaks above it, breaks above it. That's good. That's bullish. But once it's under it, that is a bad signal. So watch that. Let's see. Hanky, thank you for the follow, man. Tesla, please. The man. Tesla. We talked about Tesla earlier. Tesla is not looking very good. Based on the numbers that came out today about them not selling enough cars. So if you're thinking about puts, I don't think that's a crazy idea, but Tesla is a stock that is only for experts, people that have been in the market for a while and they know how volatile Tesla could be. They are the ones that usually trade this stock. Unless it's very cheap, I wouldn't be calling people crazy for buying it. But if it's at a fair price, I wouldn't try to enter into Tesla. It's gonna have an aggressive move next week. I guarantee you that. It either if the robotaxi delivers, it will go up, guaranteed. If the robotaxi does not deliver and it has something that investors don't like, it will drop. So we'll talk about Tesla next week. I think on Thursday, on the 12th, which is when they release the full self-driving robotaxi. We'll see how that goes. Wave, MDB. See, let's look at MDB. I'm trying to please everyone and look at all your stocks before I leave. MDB. So I'm trying to do it as fast as I can. MDB, already bad technicals. I mean, look at this, trending at 483. Now it's at 199. It's in a downtrend. It's not breaking out of the downtrend. You see the 200 SMA. It's way below it. It's been rejecting that 200 SMA for a couple of months already, since October of last year. Actually, since April of last year. Okay, you see how it hit that 200 SMA right there. You guys gotta understand, the 200 SMA is one of the best resistances or supports that there are out there for stocks. If stocks reject them, then that's not a good sign. Okay, that's not a good sign. So I don't know if you're trying to enter into this stock, but as of now, everything is bearish on the stock. So careful on that one. Watch. If you're planning to enter into this stock, you gotta be careful on that. Unless you're shorting it, maybe. Hey, hi, new here, ALD. Okay, Aldrin. Thank you for the follow, man, or thank you for being here today. If you're not following me yet, I appreciate you being here in the live. Let's look at your stock, just because you're new. I'm getting a lot of new people. APLD, Apply Digital Corporation, $13 stock. I mean, it's got a big jump, but let's look at this is a crazy stock. No, I don't like it. And I'll tell you why. Because it is a stock that moves up very aggressively, then drops, and then moves up aggressively, and then drops, and then you can see this aggressive move, and then it's probably gonna drop in the next couple of days. Watch it for a few days. Let's see who asked me that. That was Aldrin. Watch it for a couple of days. Okay, watch it for a couple of days, and you will see a drop. I guarantee you. I guarantee it. Because that's just how this stock behaves. Pump and dump stocks. So careful on that. Don't put, if you're already in profits, maybe consider taking some of your profits. Not financial advice. You can do whatever you prefer to do, but if you're planning to enter, it's probably not a good idea to enter at this point. Thomas, just because the stock is all-time highs doesn't mean it's expensive. Check multiples. Thomas, it doesn't mean it's expensive, but if you're looking at a stock at all-time highs, especially the SPY, that had an aggressive move of 25% up for the SPY, again, just my opinion, okay? I believe it's gonna hit all-time highs and then drop, okay? You're totally right. Not all the stocks that hit all-time highs means they are expensive or an expensive stock, but for the most part, especially in the world we're living in, They want to hit all-time highs and then drop, because that's what investors are looking at, right? It's not because of what I believe it is because once investors, the big companies, the mutual funds, all of these guys that invest millions of dollars, the institutions that put in millions of dollars into the stock, they see all-time highs and they see what's going on with the economy. You know, they see the bond market, they see the tariffs, the tension with other countries. So they say, hey, all-time highs, I'm taking profits and I'm gonna hold all that cash and wait for things to settle. So it's not that I think about it or that I believe it. It's just what institutions do. They are the ones that move the market, not us. I mean, us, the retail traders, we don't even make a dent in the market. Even if you trade in the 100,000s, in the 200,000s, in the $1 million bucks, you don't make a dent. You're talking about you trying to move the market with $1 million when institutions put in 100, 200, $500 million, right? So they are the ones that send the market up or send the market down. Um, okay. Aldrin, thank you for the follow. Cannon, Tommy, El Compa K. Thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate it. I hope I can share some good knowledge with you guys and give you good information here in this live. See Apple, Nathan. I'll look at Apple in a second. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up with the stocks. BP was a typo. I didn't even know there was a BP stock. Oh, so what was it, man? What was it, Binaya? Uh, Damien, thank you for the rose, man. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the likes. If you guys are tapping the screen, that's the only price. That's my only charge. That you guys tap the screen, help me with that. The more likes I have, the better the algorithm to get to other people, to new followers, to grow my channel, to hopefully get one day to 10,000. So if you guys have been here with me since day one, I've told you my goal is to get to 10,000 followers at one point. So I hope I can get it done before the end of this year. We'll see. We'll see. If I keep creating good content that people like, maybe we'll get there. Damien, Tesla. Okay, so we talked about Tesla, right? Tesla, very volatile and expecting news on or waiting for news next week on the robotaxi. News are good, stock is gonna go up. If the stock the robotaxi doesn't deliver, stock is gonna drop probably to 270, which is a big support. Aldrin, APLD, Applied Digital Corporation. Wait, didn't we look at that earlier? Yeah, that's the one we looked at. Okay, so we can move on. What do you think about CRCL? Max, is that the one that has a new IPO? Somebody asked me about that earlier. CRCL, or maybe it's not, or maybe it is CRCL. I don't have it on my platform. CRCL. I don't know what kind of stock that is, or maybe it is the one with the new IPO. Somebody asked me about the one earlier, and I think that's what it was. So if it's a new IPO, Max, it's not gonna be here yet until they put it on the market for the public to buy it. What's your thought on CICRL? CICRL. That's a CI. Oh, CIR. Sorry, I misspelled that. CIRCL. No, I think you're giving me the wrong ticker symbol, Canon. I don't see that. CIR. Yeah, I don't have that Canon. So take a look at that, man. What's your thought on? Okay, so add Canon, Brad. What's your thoughts on CIRCL? I don't have it here. Maybe it's a stock that this platform doesn't have. So Damien, Tesla. Okay, we talked about Tesla. Apple, Nathan. Apple is Apple is a good stock. It's a strong stock. It's a stock that will be here no matter what happens. But right now, it has a little bit of conflicts with Donald Trump because Donald Trump wants Apple to be in the United States. He wants the factories to be here, which is not going to happen. Why is it not going to happen? Because you cannot make iPhones in the United States because they will be very, very expensive. So Apple needs to figure something out, work things out with Trump, convince him that they're gonna invest more money in the United States. I don't know. They have to come up with a plan so that Trump stops making Apple, wanting to move their factories to the United States, because it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So right now, until they figure something out, they will continue to be in that trend. They'll move up maybe, but they have to have good news on that. They have an event next week, so usually Apple tends to move up during that event. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days. But that's what's holding Apple down. It's a great company. It's a great company. I'm not gonna lie. It's a great company. If it drops to maybe like 170, I'm gonna buy some shares, a lot of shares actually. If it drops to 170, Canon, right? I put 1500. What about you? Okay, so you're putting in. What's your thoughts on Canon? You keep giving me that ticker symbol, man, but I don't have it here unless I'm typing the wrong thing. I want to say I typed it twice. CI. Okay, I got those two. RCL. And I only see Circle Energy, but that's not even the ticker symbol. Unless it's no, it's not crypto. So I don't know, man. I don't have that. Aldrin, Canon. Okay, so I got these guys. Perfect. What's your thought on CRCL? Okay, so now you're giving me a different one. CRCL. Okay, so that one I have. You were typing like an I, Canon, on the other one. So, but this is a British stock, so I don't think that's the one either, because I don't think this is the one. So let me know. Let me know. You're getting me mixed up with those ticker symbols. Thanks, Damien. No problem, man. Witter, Baba. I don't like Chinese stocks. But we can check it out. See, Alibaba. Okay, so from the technicals, you could see it clearly in a downtrend. It is respecting. I mean, you guys see. I mean, you could see it right now, right? How I told you earlier that most stocks that honor and respect the 200 moving average, they are strong stocks. This stock is in a downtrend right now. If it was me and I was trying to buy a little bit of Baba, I don't, because I don't like Chinese stocks, because not weird reasons or anything. It's just I like to stay with stocks that I'm more familiar with. I'm not very familiar with Baba, so that's why I don't buy it. But if you guys do, okay, I would wait for this to hit maybe. See, so it's in a little bit of a downtrend right now. To hit maybe the 200 moving average. It already did. It bounced off of it, so it is respecting the 200 moving average. So maybe wait, let it hit there, get confirmation that it's gonna bounce from there, and then that's when I enter. Okay. See, Canon Albright confused. Which stock do you want him to look at? I wasn't sure. Yeah. So were you looking up that stock? Yeah, I couldn't find it either. I'm already in M&B. Earnings was great. Wave, good job, man. I hope that you were able to get some profits. CRCL, Canon. I don't see it, man. I don't have it. Aldrin, okay, thank you. No problem, man. What's your thoughts on? Okay, SPY will get a FOMO rally once it hits a new all-time highs. Thomas, you think so? Maybe. I mean, I think it's getting a FOMO already. And for those of you that are not familiar with the FOMO acronym, means fear of missing out. So a lot of people who see stocks doing very well, they're thinking, okay, it's gonna continue to go up, so they start buying into it. But again, Thomas, like I said earlier, FOMO is not a good thing. Okay, FOMO is not a good thing. When investors start to see that, like rallying stocks because retail investors are buying, then they start thinking, okay, a lot of people are buying it, they're FOMOing into this stock, let's take some profits. Okay, because stock goes up, they take some profits, and they leave the retail investors like us up there. Okay, and they are the ones that take profits. So please give me an update on Avi and Palantir. Okay, CEO, I can look at Palantir. Palantir it's a very expensive stock. You probably saw it drop a little bit, and probably a lot of people got scared that it was going to continue to drop. I don't buy Palantir right now. At least it's a good company. Don't get me wrong, but I think it has a lot of potential. But it's a very expensive company as well. Okay, so you saw that drop. It clearly rejected that resistance that it had. Let's see, right there. So right here, it was resistance back in February, and then also back in April. Okay, so it hit that price point twice. It rejected that, and finally it was able to break through on May. So it broke through, got rejected, it reclaimed that, and now it is using that as support. As you clearly see that little shadow, okay, the shadow of the candle hitting that resistance right here. Okay, so I mean, it's a good stock, but very expensive for my taste. Not because of the price, but because of the P/E ratio. The P/E ratio for this stock is $581. If you don't know what P/E ratio is, take a look at one of the videos that I posted today explaining P/E ratio. So in summary, you have to invest $581 to make $1 profit. Oh, that is how expensive this stock is. So be very careful if you're entering into this stock. Any bad news are gonna make this stock drop $20-$30. I guarantee it. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Damian, VRVL. Okay, how about? Okay, let me get a couple more, and then I'm going to be taking off, guys. So just because I have to wake up early tomorrow, and I've been here for an hour and a half. So I usually here hour and a half. But I'm getting a lot of comments. So a lot of people are into this live. So that's why I stayed a little bit longer. But let me get a couple more, and then we'll call it a night. What do you think about Apple? Will it go up or down tomorrow? Giovanni, my opinion is that tomorrow is gonna stay flat. Apple is not gonna move much unless it gets good news on tariffs. Okay, if there are good news on tariffs and Trump is okay with Apple keeping their factories in China and India, because they're trying to move some factories to India, then Apple will skyrocket. Okay, it will go up. But for me, tomorrow, I think it's just gonna stay flat. It's not gonna move very much. So new IPO, Tito, yeah. So that company that they keep sharing, if it's a new IPO, I'm not gonna have it here until they have it public. Damian, VRVL. Okay, VRVL. VRVL. I don't have it. Damian, I don't have it. Sorry, man. VRVL is not in my VRVL. It's not in my platform. So I don't know if it's a penny stock or it's a stock that doesn't trade on the Nasdaq or the or Wall Street. So let's see. New IPO. Okay, your views on APLD, too late to buy or set a market limit around 11. APLD. Apply Digital. Okay, we had that one earlier. Apply Digital. Too late to buy. Not a good stock. Pump and dump stock. So stay away from it. Personal opinion. You can do whatever you like, but this kind of stock, you see those aggressive move ups, down, move up, down. It's coming from a high price at like, I think we saw it was like $20-$30. Let's see, like $30. So not a good stock for me. There are better stocks that don't have these kind of moves out of nowhere. So careful on that one. Giovanni Rodriguez going to 500. Okay. User 57. That's funny. 100%. Marble. Damien. Marble. Still got Marble. MRVL. That's a Marble Technology. Okay. So Marble, big drop from 127. Clearly in a downtrend. You can see it yourself. Right there from 126. Here, trending under the 200. Remember what I said earlier? Stocks that trend under the 200 SMA, not good, bearish. You need the stock to break through that. Unless you're doing intradays or doing scalping, then maybe you can get some profit out of this stock. But if you're doing swing trade or long-term investing, That's not it. This is not it. Look at this is what's new best long term. New to this. What is long for? Oh, local Marcos. Best for long term is ETFs like the SPY. This one here. Okay, this one has a historical average of return 10% per year. So if you put in $1,000, it's gonna make you $100 at the end of the year. The more money you put in, of course, you're gonna make more. Some years you will not make 10%, you will make less or negative. But in the long term, because you're talking about long term, you're talking about 10, 20 years. In 20 years, your money's gonna be guaranteed there, and you're gonna grow your money. Okay, guaranteed, guaranteed. So SPY, QQQ, VOO, BTI, all of these are good stocks for you. You can take a screenshot of that if you wish. Again, BTI, VOO, QQQ, SPY, all of those are good stocks for the long term. MSTY. Let's see. MSTY. MSTY. What is that? Title. Okay. Yeah. Bad stock. Horrible stock. Has an all-time highs of $44. It's just dropping to 22. That's more than half of the stock in a matter of about 6-7 months. So it lost half of the value in 6 months. So think about it. It's trending under the 200. Like I said earlier, those are bad signs. Okay, so careful on that. See, Witter, AHA. Is that a stock, or you or were you trying to say like haha, HA or AHA? I think you misspelled that, or you were trying to say something else. CEO, thanks, Bob. No problem, man. Marble, okay, Damien, we looked at Marble. How about, okay, we look at that. See, CEO, Ave is uncontrollable. I think you don't trade it. AAVE. See, AAVE. AAVE, Amsterdam. Okay, so it's probably like out of like foreign stocks. No, I don't do foreign stocks. I only do stocks that trade in the Nasdaq, S&P 500, but not foreign stocks. I'm thinking the same. Too late. Thanks. No problem, Victor. Tony, thank you for the follow, man. Tony, Victor, CRM, CRXM, Mason, I'm assuming. What's the most you've made on one stock? Good question. I just closed a position last week on Nvidia, 137, and I made $20,000 on that trade. But that trade took me 2 months. Okay, so it's not like I made it from one day to another. It took me 2 months from when the stock market dropped on April until last week, Wednesday, when they reported earnings. So that's the most I've taken on one single stock. If you don't mind me asking. Okay, yeah. So thank you for the follow, Crimson. Andrew, Doku, earnings tomorrow might pop. Okay, let's look at Doku. That'll be the last two that I check. Doku sign. I don't know, man. This stock popped back in during COVID, right? Yeah. So I remember seeing this during COVID because everything was gonna be done electronically, and that's when this stock was like popping. I don't know about if it's gonna pop because I mean if it's got earnings or if it's had good earnings before. You see that? And they are all positive, and it's got earnings tomorrow, you said. So, but it hasn't really popped. I mean, the most it moved out of the further away from the 200, it was at 105, and right now it's at 93. So if it does have good earnings, it will probably hit 107, 105, where it was last time it popped. But Andrew, when you're playing earnings, you're playing the lottery. Unless you work for DocuSign, and you're an insider and you know what the earnings are gonna be and you know what the guidance is gonna be, okay, buy and wait for it to go up. But if you have no clue what the earnings are gonna be and you have no clue what the guidance is going to be, then you're playing the lottery. You're flipping a coin, okay, hoping that it goes up. Okay, if you're already in the stock or you're planning to buy to play earnings, That is gambling with your money. Okay, so hope that helps. Pepe, Giovanni, I don't do crypto, man. Sorry, first time here. I don't know why you trade exactly. I don't do crypto. The reason why I don't do crypto, it's because this type of cryptocurrency, it just moves. It just moves without telling anyone, and they trade all day. They don't close. I mean, you see the numbers moving right now. It's because people are trading this day and night, day and night. So this thing, stuff like this could drop overnight, and you're asleep, right? And I like to, to sleep in peace, not thinking that my stock is gonna drop overnight, and knowing that I could have done something about it. That's why I don't do that. Everyone I ask uses DocuSign, so it'll beat it. I don't know about guidance. Yeah, so that's a reason. That's a reason why. Remember, guidance is always more powerful than earnings. Okay, keep that in mind. They could have great earnings, but if guidance is not great, because that's what investors look for. They want to know they don't want to know what's going on right now. They want to know what's going to happen in 3 months. Okay, so all of you guys that are here, whenever you are in a stock or you're thinking, well, tomorrow this stock has earnings, let me buy some now, and because I think earnings are going to be great, and then next day, earnings are great, but guidance is not great, then stock drops, and then you're stuck up there. So be careful with that. For all of you guys that play earnings, it's like flipping a coin. Sometimes you're gonna get lucky and the stock is gonna go up, but sometimes you're not gonna get lucky, and I don't like to do that. I like to know exactly where the stock is gonna go. If it's got good earnings, if it's got good plans. I usually, if I'm gonna buy a stock, I buy it after earnings. If it drops, then I get it cheap, right? If it goes up, then I wait for a pullback. Thought about Lulu as well, but tariffs make it scary. Yeah. Lulu is one of the ones that Lululemon is one of the ones that is gonna suffer the most because of tariffs. So we're gonna hear news on Friday about tariffs with China. Trump is supposed to have a talk with President Xi on Friday, and we'll see if we hear good news on tariffs this Friday. Then stocks are gonna rally. Okay, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so with that, I'm going to call this a day. I just want to leave you with one more thing. Tomorrow we're going to have the initial jobless claims, so unemployment. We're gonna know how much unemployment there was for the month. Okay, and we'll see what happens. This could be good news and bad news. Okay, for the Federal Reserve. And again, Federal Reserve are the ones that cut rates, and cut rates affect the market directly. Okay, if we have a bad report on unemployment, let's say unemployment is expected to come out at 236,000. If we have way higher unemployment tomorrow on that report, then that's gonna tell the Federal Reserve, man, more people are filing for unemployment. That means that less people are gonna buy things at the store, at the market. Less people are gonna buy homes. Less people are going to buy cars because we have so many unemployed. So maybe it is time to cut rates. Okay, so that's how the Federal Reserve is gonna take it. That's good news for cutting rates. It's not good news for the economy. That means the economy is cooling down really fast. And if it cools down really fast, that is going to affect the growth of the economy in the United States. So wait for that, for those news. I'm going to post the story on my profile. So if you guys don't follow me yet and you want to stay up to date on those news on the unemployment claims, I will post that tomorrow early in the morning. As soon as I find out, you will see it on my story. So Andrew, Friday, what time? They didn't say the time. It's usually in the morning, maybe 8, 9. But again, if you follow me, you will see it on my story. As soon as the job or the call is done, Trump will probably come out and say something on Truth Social, which is his social media platform, and communicate what happened that day. So when that happens, I will post it on my story. You can check it out, and you will see how that makes the market react. Okay, so I will do that tomorrow for the unemployment claims, and on Friday when those news come out. But we'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. Okay, so Giovanni, when do you go live? 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. So you will find me here tomorrow at 9. Okay, so thank you guys for staying here in the live. Thank you guys for the taps. Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate that, and I will see you on tomorrow at 9 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, but I live in the Pacific area, so Pacific time zone. So you will see me here tomorrow